Welcome back to my channel, because what I'm about to break down for you right now is not just another storyline twist or shocking return. It is the complete unraveling of a mystery that has haunted WWE for months and left fans questioning everything they thought they knew. The ultimate conspiracy has finally been torn wide open, and in one jaw-dropping night, history was rewritten before our very eyes. In a move that nobody saw coming but somehow makes chilling sense in hindsight, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar stormed back into WWE and delivered the truth fans have been desperately searching for. They didn't simply pull back the curtain on the mystery man who has been terrorizing the locker room. They revealed something far more disturbing. They created him. They designed him, unleashed him, and weaponized him. And when the mask finally came off, the face staring back at the WWE Universe was the last name anyone could have predicted. Before we go any further, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell right now, because what you're about to hear is the reveal of the decade, and the fallout from this will change WWE forever. Raw is still reeling from the emotional wreckage and physical devastation left behind by Saturday night's main event. Superstars were bruised, alliances were shaken, and the audience could still feel the aftershocks of everything that had gone down. As the show pushed toward its final segment, the atmosphere was thick with tension. Seth Rollins made his way to the ring, carrying the weight of weeks of frustration and unanswered questions on his shoulders. He grabbed a microphone and unleashed a fiery, impassioned promo, demanding that the mystery finally end. Rollins spoke for the fans, for the locker room, and for himself, saying that he was done being manipulated, done chasing shadows, and done letting a faceless attacker dictate the future of WWE. His voice grew louder, his words sharper, as he vowed to hunt down the truth no matter who stood in his way. Just as his anger reached a boiling point and the crowd roared in agreement, the arena was suddenly rocked by a sound that hadn't echoed through WWE in months. A sound so powerful it instantly changed the mood in the building. Brock Lesnar's music hit. The reaction was immediate and electric, a mix of shock, fear, and disbelief rippling through the crowd. But the real surprise wasn't just that the Beast incarnate was back. It was that he wasn't alone. Walking beside him, microphone already in hand and wearing a smug, knowing smile, was Paul Heyman. The wise man had returned, and this time he wasn't there to whisper strategy into Roman Reigns' ear from the shadows. He was there to speak directly to the WWE Universe, and he had something monumental to say. Lesnar stood behind him like a silent executioner, arms crossed, eyes cold, a looming reminder of the destruction he was capable of. Heyman stepped into the ring and took a moment to soak in the reaction, clearly enjoying the chaos he was about to unleash. With theatrical delight dripping from every word, he addressed the crowd and the millions watching at home, saying that for months there had been one question echoing through WWE. Who is the mystery man? Heyman mocked the speculation, reminding everyone how fingers had been pointed at Seth Rollins, how Austin Theory's name had been dragged into the conversation, and how nearly every shadow in the locker room had been accused. But, according to Heyman, everyone had been asking the wrong question. It was never about who the mystery man was. The real question was much older, much more dangerous, and far more revealing. Cui bono. Who benefits? As Heyman smiled wider, the pieces began to fall into place. He declared that he benefited. Roman Reigns benefited. The tribal chief's vision of order benefited. And most importantly, the man they hired to be their ghost, their unseen hand of chaos, benefited more than anyone. Heyman then turned his attention toward the entrance and told the world that if they wanted their mystery man, they were about to get him. The lights flickered, and the digital glitch associated with the mystery attacker's presence filled the Titantron. The familiar distorted logo pulsed on the screen as the hooded, masked figure emerged from the back. He walked with a loose, confident swagger that felt eerily familiar, every step radiating defiance. The crowd buzzed with nervous anticipation as he entered the ring and took his place beside Heyman and Lesnar, standing directly across from a furious and stunned Seth Rollins. Heyman began to explain the plan in chilling detail. He said it was simple in concept but devastating in execution. They needed to create an agent of chaos, someone who could strike without warning and without allegiance. Someone who could attack the pillars of the old guard, legends, and fan favorites like CM Punk, Rey Mysterio, and LA Knight, and destabilize the entire WWE landscape. The goal was to create fear, uncertainty, and desperation. To make the world feel unsafe. To make the WWE Universe beg for a strong, unchallenged ruler to restore order. To make them acknowledge the necessity of Roman Reigns and the tribal chief's vision. And to pull it off, they needed a weapon that was unpredictable, brutally violent, and completely detached from loyalty to anyone in that locker room. Someone who answered to no one but himself and the architects who unleashed him. Heyman slowly turned toward the masked man and delivered the words everyone had been waiting for. He told him to take it off. To let the world finally see the face of the revolution they had created. Time seemed to slow as the mystery man raised his hands and pulled back the hood. The arena fell into a tense, breathless silence. Then, with deliberate calm, he reached for the mask. In one smooth, confident motion, he ripped it away and revealed himself. The reaction was instant and explosive. The face staring back at the WWE Universe was wild-eyed, intense, and wearing a knowing smirk. It was Jon Moxley. Shock ripped through the arena like a lightning bolt. Fans couldn't process what they were seeing. Moxley, the man who had just been fired from AEW, the man many believed would never set foot in a WWE ring again, wasn't here as a surprise tribute or a one-night shock appearance. He was the original architect of the violence, the mastermind behind the attacks, the chaos incarnate that Heyman and Lesnar had unleashed upon WWE. Heyman's plan was now fully exposed, and Moxley stood proudly as the living embodiment of it. A free agent of destruction with no ties, no rules, and no remorse. Seth Rollins stood frozen, anger and disbelief written across his face as the reality sank in. Roman Reigns' shadow loomed larger than ever over WWE, and the question now wasn't just what comes next, but how anyone could possibly stop what has been set in motion. What does Roman Reigns do now that his secret weapon is revealed? What happens when the locker room realizes how deep this conspiracy truly runs? One thing is certain, the mystery is solved, but the war is only just beginning. Make sure you hit like, subscribe to the channel, tell me in the comments if you predicted Jon Moxley all along, and brace yourselves, because the fallout from this revelation is going to shake WWE to its core. The moment after the reveal felt unreal, as if time itself had fractured inside the arena. Jon Moxley stood there soaking in the chaos, eyes darting across the crowd, feeding off the disbelief and outrage pouring down on him. The same man who once walked through